Well, to get started, I mean, how's spring practice going for you so far? What have these last few weeks been like?
I mean, I feel great, confident. Coach Villa is a great coach. He's very detailed and he's very into talking about being intentional. Being intentional in everything you do, being intentional in the way you walk, the way you line up, the way you just play ball. So I feel like I'm taking major steps in our game. As a team, I feel like we're just taking major steps. Every day, I feel like it's a constant improvement.
What is it about the line that's allowed you guys to connect so fast?
Like I said, it's just details. Just details. And when you're focused on the details, you're going to make strides, not just incremental strides, but you can get 1% better every day. But with him, it's not just about getting 1%. Some days you can get 5%. You might get 10%. And if you're constantly working on the details and getting better, you're just going to get better over time. It's not about 1% or 1%. Obviously, incremental growth is great, but the steps that we're trying to get to, we're trying to take leaps. You should know this.
What were those initial discussions with him? I mean, once he got hired, what were your first interactions with him like?
And just talking ball. When I first talked to him, he just talked so fast. I was just like, oh, okay, like this is my coach. He just talking a lot about ball, just moving real fast. And I'm like, yeah, this is our first time talking. Like, I really don't. But when you get around him and you get into the ball and you start understanding the defense, everything starts to slow down. And you start to understand, like, okay, my first meeting, you were speaking the same speed, but now that I'm in it and I'm around you every day, it's like, okay, everything's starting to slow down. And it's just really exciting when you can see yourself like visibly growing every single day.
What about Brent? What was it like getting him as a coach, a defensive-minded coach?
That's crazy. I mean, it was insane. During high school, Clemson recruited me, but it's a different experience when he's actually here. First meeting, he's like, "What's up, Jay?" I'm like, "What's up, coach?" He's like, "Let's get to work." I'm like, oh, like, let's get to work then. Like, that's what it is. It's just all work. You throw work at it, and that's what it's crazy, man. He's one of the best probably the best defensive guru I've ever seen. And he talks fast too. But as you get to know him and get around him, everything starts to slow down. So it's just amazing. I'm just grateful for this opportunity to be here.
Your story, I mean, you get recruited by Mike, and then he's let go, and now you go through a whole other staff again. Just what has this experience been like? Where's the trust factor for you coming?
I mean, it's different. I trust God. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Christian, so I have faith in God, and I have faith that He does everything for a reason. So committing to Mike, signing to Mike, then going to Grinch, then going now to Roof and Coach Venerables and Villa. It's been a process. But I feel that everything that's happened has made me stronger to whatever my aspect is in life, whether it be football, whether it be something else. I feel like it prepares you for life because you never know what's going to happen in life, So I just feel like it prepared me for everything, and I felt like I learned something from every single avenue of this.
Your season last year obviously got a few starts, but how'd you feel about the way you played overall? And were there things coming into this year you felt like you could improve on?
Not good enough. Not good enough. I'm my hardest critic, so I read a lot of stuff, and it's hard to like shut everything completely out, but everything that anybody said about me, I probably said something 10 times worse to myself in my head, so that type of stuff don't really like bother me as much, but like I'm really hard on myself, like really, really hard, and I felt like it just wasn't good enough as a whole, because where I want to go, where my aspirations are, and just talking to my dad is a big inspiration for me. He's always going to tell me the truth and nothing but the truth. So he'll just say that wasn't good enough. This year wasn't good enough. This play wasn't good enough. I can feel like I have a great game. It wasn't good enough on this play and this play. You didn't do good enough. So it's just constant improvement. And when you have a mindset that it's constant improvement and you need to improve, no matter if you have a great game, a poor game, great season, not great season, you'll just see, like, when you step back, you'll realize that, okay, like, I'm really growing as a player. I'm growing as a person and individual.
Can you look back and realize why it didn't turn out that way for you?
I think it had a lot to do with just self-confidence for me. I feel like that's a big thing for me. I'm really a confident person, but then certain things happened, and I felt like I lost my confidence in myself, and I felt like I just made everything way worse than what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I stick and do me, and I stick it and play confident and do what I need to do, I feel like we'll see a different.
Coach Villa has talked a lot about playing up to your strengths. Knowing what your strengths are, playing up to that. How does that tie in with your confidence of knowing that he's cool with this, and this, and that's what I want to accentuate?
I love it. You know, I love that just playing to your strengths and playing to whatever you feel basically comfortable. He's very detailed, and you have to do it in the grand scheme of the defense or the grand scheme of whatever we're in at that point in time. But being able, I'm not 6'2". We all can see I'm not 6'2". I'm not 6'1". But I know what I'm good at. I know I have great feet. I know I'm quick. I know I'm fast. So me and another corner like Kanai's bigger than me. So we might play completely different under the same defense, under the same scheme, and it makes everybody more comfortable and confident in whatever you're doing.
Jaden, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna. Coach Lai talked about that he was an undersized corner too. So how important is that in the day to day as far as what he can do working one on one with you to get the best out of you?
I mean, it's great. You know, it's great to have somebody that can relate to everything that you're going through. He's been through it. He was at Wisconsin. He was all Big Ten. He's been in a position where he's had to fight for a position where ups and downs and everything. He understands. So when you have somebody that has been through the exact same thing you were going through, it's just a big difference. I can go up to his office and talk to him about just life because he understands everything I'm going through. So that also helps with the whole everything. It's not just about football. When you have those relationships with your coaches off the field, then you bring it on the field, it's just a whole different mindset towards everything.
Jaden, last year it seemed like every time we talked to the coaches, it was emphasis turnovers. I know it's important with this staff. How's the message different this year from last year? And I know the emphasis is the same, but what's the message about turnovers?
I mean, it's less about turnovers and more about details. And playing within the scheme of the defense. You know, so it's less about, let's just get turnovers. It's more about if we play in our scheme and everybody is detailed in the exact spot they're supposed to be in, the plays will come. It's when you're trying to go out and trying to do something extraordinary, you're trying to be Superman, that's when you cop out the gap. You're supposed to be in the A gap. You're in the A gap, but you see the A gap's closed. You're trying to jump into the B gap. As soon as you jump into the B gap, A gap opens wide open. So it's just about being detailed in your craft and doing exactly what is written down, exactly what's on paper. If they tell you to guard one, you guard one. You don't see two, you guard one, and the plays are going to come.
You briefly mentioned Kanai Walker, just as a new guy coming into the group. What do you feel like he brings to the table?
Energy, aggressiveness. He's a great player. I mean, he's shocked me. You know, he's just so smart and so confident, and he's a long, big corner. You know, so I love Kanai. You know, he came in and we welcomed him with open arms, and he hasn't missed a beat. You know, from day one, he was always into it. He was always eager to learn, and you would think he's older than what he is, but he's really not. I think he's a redshirt freshman, I think. So I really don't know because he act like he a junior or senior, you know. So I just think he's a great player, and he's going to succeed in any position you put him in.
At your position, you guys have unique differences in size. He and Eaton are pretty tall. Woody and DJ are kind of there. You're your size, and then Morrison comes in. I mean, it's kind of unique, isn't it?
And it's unique that we can all get it done. I feel like everybody that's on the secondary can get it done. I feel like you can move anybody to any position. I feel like everybody that we have this year can get it done, and I love it. Everybody played, like we mentioned earlier, you're playing to your strengths. Like me and Trey can't play like Kanai and Josh or play like Woody and DJ. It's just everybody's playing to their strengths.
Jay, seems to want to give all you guys the same kind of chance, though, no matter what your size is. As you just said, play to your strengths.
Yeah,
Talk about that a little bit.
So it's just, can you ask the question again?
Well, the strengths that Jay talks about, you got 6 different guys that are different sizes and things. Talk about playing to your strengths in that regard.
I mean, you just know what you're gonna do. I mean, if you get a back shoulder fade in the end zone, I know I might have to jump later than a guy like Josh Eaton or a guy like Kanai Walker because they can jump earlier because they're longer. They have bigger wingspans. They have different things. But I might have to jump later. I might be able to jump with them. I might have a 40-inch vert. But I'll have to jump later and wait for a receiver to come down, a receiver like Dio Weiss, who's 6'1" and 6'2", you know? And it's just knowing those things and just playing to your strengths and playing. I might know that I'm a quicker guy. I don't have really long arms. So I need to give myself space to react and then allow the receiver to come to me versus a Kanai or a Woody where they can be more aggressive and more stout in their press coverage. So it's just little things like that where you learn quickly when you're with Vanderbilt and Roof and Vilay. You learn that you play to your strengths. You don't play in a shell of this is how you do everything. You play to your strengths and you do what you have to do to make a play.